What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at some NHL trade rumors from Specters Hockey for June 12th. Now, there's actually some pretty decent information in here, so if you want to go and read what he has to say, go and check out the link down below, but I always give my opinion as well here on video, and there's going to be a ton of content coming up. As you guys know, the NHL draft and free agency and everything is coming up in the next month, so there's going to be a lot of videos coming out, and fortunately I'll have the time to make them. Well, hopefully, I'm saying that now, but I'm really hoping I do. So basically, there's reports coming out of The Athletic. Josh Yeo is reporting that Pittsburgh does not want to move Phil Kessel now because the move is looking unlikely because of Phil Kessel's options. Now, you guys know that he has like a limited no trade clause, or I can't believe what I'm not sure exactly what his real clause is, but it looks like he has an 8-team list. So he kind of chooses where he wants to go. That only having 8 teams to work with is kind of tough. And it's not like the Pittsburgh Penguins really have to get rid of Phil Kessel, but the fact that it looked so likely that he was going is kind of alarming to me, that no team on that 8-team list is, willing to make the move, or maybe the Kessel's just not cooperating as much as Pittsburgh wants. Again, we're not in the room. I don't know how loose Kessel is on being able to go to a different team, or maybe just outside of his 8-team list, maybe he would accept something. But it's looking like he's been, declining options wherever Pittsburgh has been talking. So the biggest one was the Minnesota Wild deal, which a lot of people feel like was pretty much in the finishing touches. All you had to do was get Phil Kessel to agree to it, and Zucker was going to be going the other way. And Zucker is another guy who's been all over the place, but in trade rumors, of course. But Phil Kessel turned it down, didn't want to play there, and then we got word that he wanted to maybe take a move to the Arizona Coyotes. So there's like conflicting reports of, does he want to win? Does he want to help build a team like Arizona? Because they are pretty good. It's just they need guys like, Kessel, and they need a couple more pieces probably to take them to the next level. And I guess Phil Kessel doesn't have very many teams that he wants to work with. Of course, if it's 8 teams, there's not a lot of teams that he's willing to go to, and that's in his contractual rights. So now they're flipping the script here and saying, well, they're going to have to get rid of money somewhere else because Pittsburgh wants to be able to make some other moves. Now, Kessel has 3 years remaining on his contract with the Penguins at a $6.8 million per season of his $8 million average annual value, because, the Leafs retention on that trade as well. And now TSN is reporting that maybe Chris Letang could be the guy that goes. Personally, I don't think they want to move Letang, but if they are really dedicated to moving out money, then Letang might be an option. 32 years old, 3 years left on his on his contract. His cap is $7.25 million, and he has a modified no trade clause. And it's basically, in this article, it states what pretty much everybody already knows. Crosby and now Malkin, because I guess they were just throwing his name out there to tick him off, maybe light a fire under him, and probably Matt Murray. Those are the only untouchables. Other than that, the Pittsburgh Penguins might be willing to move a couple guys out of there. And, they need to retool. Obviously, it's never a rebuild when you've got guys like, Malkin, Crosby, and, Kessel, Letang, whatever. You're never really rebuilding. You're just trying to move pieces in and out to be able to stick with the times, grab younger talent, be able to make moves in free agency by moving out salary. So there's a lot of missing pieces for Pittsburgh right now. They've got some holes on defense, some bad contracts on the blue line. They've got some players that they'd like to move out. I'm sure Johnson is a guy that they'd like to move out. And they've made some questionable moves. But Pittsburgh is going to be a team that's going to be very active, I would think, in the next month or so. The next thing here is TSN 690 Montreal was talking. Darren Dreger was talking about possible destinations for Corey Perry if he was to get bought out. Now, I talked about it before. Corey Perry being bought out wouldn't surprise me very much, but at the same time, that would be weird for the Ducks to do. I feel like they're going to try to make a trade there. I don't think that they want to just buy Corey Perry out. I know that it'll save them some money, but the Ducks are a team that really needs to start getting some assets here. And I don't think Corey Perry is necessarily going to get you a ton, but if you can retain salary for a little bit, and I don't know. I know that a buyout might seem likely for some people, but to me, it's like I'm on the fence. I don't really know if that's going to be a really great option. So Dreger feels that there would be a market for Perry via the UFA market. I think anybody would think that. but he suggested the Edmonton Oilers. I don't think so, and I think a lot of people have already talked about this as well, but me personally, I don't think that it's any surprise, saying that I think Corey Perry is more of a depth role type of guy now. I know the Oilers really need scoring in general, but putting him with a guy like McDavid wouldn't make sense to me. Corey Perry can't keep up with him at this point. Again, no disrespect. You put him on like the second or third line maybe with other players, sure, but if I'm an Oilers fan, I wouldn't want him anywhere near Connor McDavid, because McDavid needs some speedy guys to play with him. He needs some guys that can keep up with him and actually, make things happen in the offensive zone. So I really don't think that that's going to happen. But maybe the Oilers want him on a cheap deal as a depth player, sure, that makes sense. But again, all speculation. If he gets bought out, if nothing is guaranteed yet, just rumors. Now, the next thing is coming from TVA Sports, and this is a rumor that's been going around for a little bit now, a couple days at least. The Flyers were talking about the fact, well, again, rumors, speculation. There was talks that Shane Gostisbehere might be the odd man out. Bob McKenzie talked about that, and again, it was speculation, rumors, saying that there's a possibility that the Flyers might move on from Gostisbehere. Now, again, it's all rumor, speculation, but this deal to me does not make sense. They're talking about going to the Montreal Canadiens and looking at a deal where it would be Gostisbehere being moved for Shaw and Byron. Now, again, I know Byron's a good player. Shaw has got some grit. He's a good depth piece. But I feel like Philly could get a better package here for Ghost. I really do. And I think Ghost had an off year last year, but he was coming off of a really, really good season before that, 65 points. And that's even said here on Spectors Hockey. Like, you would have to imagine that, yeah, Byron's good. But Ghost, I feel like just because of how bad the Flyers were, he's going to take that next step. And again, that's something that was said here. And I think a lot of people share the same idea. Ghost is going to be much better this season, and I don't see how this would be a smart move for the Flyers unless they think that Byron and Shaw is fair value, which I honestly don't think it is. I think they'll end up getting more for Ghost, and if he actually is in fact traded, I still think that the Flyers are making a mistake by not keeping him. If they do end up moving him, again, speculation, I would move other guys out of there. Like, the Leafs need defensemen. I think that they were in on Gudas. I think there was multiple teams in on Gudas. I know he's been a decent, physical presence for them. But why are you getting rid of a young asset like Ghost? I know the money is different there, but I would definitely hang on to him. So we'll have to see where that goes. But Sean Byron, I just don't think that makes sense. Now, the next thing here is just some updates on some UFAs and stuff like that. The Islanders are talking with Anders Lee and Robin Lehner and apparently Jordan Eberle as well. I would think that without even just looking at the speculation here, I'm guessing that Lehner and Lee are probably going to get contracts. Everybody's been saying that. I've been saying that. It might be a bit of money for them to pay for both of them. Like, they're both going to get pretty decent raises. And Leonard probably will get overpaid because of one really good season. And I hope that I hope that he stays, good. I mean, competition's great in the NHL, and I'm sure that, more, better goaltending in the league is just makes it more fun and obviously harder for your team to score. But I hope that he gets his money and he does well. He's had some ups and downs in his career, and, it's good for him that he's, found a spot. But there's some suggestions here saying that if they don't get a contract with him, maybe they go after Bobrovsky, although I think Bobrovsky's going to end up in Florida. But Lee, I think, again, seeing what happened with Tavares, I think that he's willing to work with him. And I don't mean what happened to Tavares in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, when he came back, Tavares was hated on by everybody in that crowd. So I think that he'd rather stay there and work with them because the Islanders are an up-and-coming team. And they're doing quite well. So I would imagine that both of them are going to end up staying. Eberle, I think he's gone. I don't think that the Islanders really want to overpay to keep him because it might be a little bit of an overpayment to keep him. Could you imagine if Eberle ended up back in Edmonton? That would be hilarious. But Then there's some stuff here about Brendan Smith and the Rangers possibly being a buyout candidate, maybe Kevin Shattenkirk. Again, more speculation just to get some cap savings, but we'll have to look into that if there's more information that comes up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 6,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload or stream. I'm probably streaming during the Boston-St. Louis Game 7 tonight. So again, hopefully. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I'm hoping I am. And hopefully I'll see you guys there. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I almost messed up my outro. Peace.